I just looked up what fruit is most commonly grown in the United States of America, and I found out that it's the grape. The fruit known as the grape is the most commonly grown fruit in the United States. And so, um, in my in my live cast that I did about an hour ago, in which I talked about the second attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you can I don't want to repeat myself. Uh, you can go and watch my live cast to see what I have to say about it. But the only thing I will say to elaborate on what I said there, because back when I recorded that live cast, I didn't know what the most common fruit in the United States of America was. And I talked about how, you know, people in America and in the first world generally, derisively talk about banana republics, people, Central American, South American countries where banana is the most common fruit, where it's corrupt and, you know, it's common to have, candidates for office be assassinated or attempted assassinations made on candidates for office. Um, and I said, I don't think the rulership that we have is really any different than the crudest tin pot dictator, like the presidente of some Central American or South American, country, or like an African warlord ruling over some dusty African country. We're really not that different, or I shouldn't say we, because we, I'm not talking about people like you and me. I'm talking about the people who rule us. The people who rule us are just as corrupt, just as evil, if not worse, than the dictators of those kinds of countries. And in fact, the only difference is that they have more clout, more power, and they can get away with more, and they're more sophisticated. Um, but I don't think we should make fun of banana republics anymore. I don't think we should make fun of African warlord republics or whatever countries where some strong man takes over and then, eats his opponents like Idi Amin or somebody like that. I think what we have in the West right now among our ruling class is just as bad, maybe worse, because it's closer to being absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, we've lived for most of our lives, or I have, thinking there's a real difference between here and there. And there are differences between the first world and the third world, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying our cultures are equal. I'm not a cultural relativist. I think some cultures are definitely superior to others. But I will say that anyone who's trash talking banana republics or African warlord countries or other places, with little tin pot dictators and lots of violence breaking out all the time. And I think you should think twice before doing that, because it's becoming more and more clear. Like the veil has been lifted, and we can see that the establishment body, the uniparty, as I've heard it called, it's not just Democrats. It's not. I'm not going to fall for that trap of calling them just Democrats. Democrats are more prominent, play a more prominent role in it right now, but the uniparty is just the establishment, just anyone who populates the establishment. And I think we've seen what they're capable of. We've seen what they're capable of on many levels, in many ways, over the last few years. Um, you know, banana republics maybe wreck the lives of a lot of the people who live in those places. Our ruling class wrecks the lives not just of lots of Americans, but of people all over the damn world. So I think it's worse. It is worse. I've convinced myself since I started this video that it's worse. So we are the grape republic. The United States of America is a grape republic.